You know, look at my hair. There's a reason that I don't get any sleep, and it's because I lie down with Amos at night and I think, I'm just going to go to bed now. And then I get up, I come downstairs to turn on the lights, and I see the darn you know what's hitting the fan. I'm Adrienne Wood with Tales of an Educated Debutante. I measured my neck today. It was 16 inches. I've started this new diet. It's very difficult to do a diet when you're mad over things. The diet's not bad, especially if you stayed up 8 hours a day. Hey, Amanda. So let's see, where should we start? We'll just start for a minute with West Virginia. So today, Casey Murphy and another mother filed a case against Urish and her cronies for abuse. Hey, Jarrett, which is exciting. And tomorrow, the Patrick Morrissey, the investigator for the Attorney General, they're going to make a big announcement. I don't know what that will be. I heard that a report came back about abuse. I've never heard of information regarding your own child being confidential, so I've left a couple messages about that. So you're just going to have to wait till tomorrow to hear about that. Oh, crap. Is my internet not working? Tonight, we're going to talk about Coastal Prep in Wilmington. Lori, give me all your Octavia stuff. Be thin as a rail and look old as hell. Tonight, we're going to talk about Coastal Prep. Now, what's interesting is some of y'all might be sick of hearing about Coastal Prep. I was sitting at a soccer game tonight talking to a good friend of mine whose daughters are at a charter school near mine. And we were really talking about like all the great things that her kids have had this year. And she was like, there was not a great teacher and they fired that teacher. Things that you're like, yeah, that's like the beauty in flexibility in a charter school. But what happens when a charter school takes advantage of flexibility and uses it to make the school worse? Coastal Prep is a perfect example of that. You have wonderful parents there. You have some great teachers there. But the house of cards is beginning to fall down. And I think it's worthwhile to watch and see what happens. So they've lost 18 teachers, 6 teachers, I think, since December. So what happens is you have these great teachers. You have this Mr. Dugan. Everybody loves him. You have Dr. Watson. You have Miss Bruce. These people go to the head of the school and they say, we're not doing the right thing. We need to do these things that are better. So a regular principal would be like, okay, great. Not at this school. Those teachers, they don't want those teachers because those teachers actually are logical and child advocates. So you end up with a school where you have sort of a tyrannical ruler, Jamie Getz, and then you have a board, Chris Millis. Oh, Mary Scott said, I already look thin. You liar. Then you have a board full of members who are just in cahoots somehow with Jamie Getz. And I don't really know what it is, why they're in cahoots. But I talked to a parent tonight for a long time, a parent who has a child at Coastal Prep. And you know what she told me? She said, my son came home today and he was telling me what happened at school today. And so what happened was in a 6th grade classroom at Coastal Prep, there's a teacher, Mr. Stair. Mr. Stair said in the classroom, so this child's in the 7th grade. The 6th graders go to the 7th grader and say, Mr. Stair was being a jerk. And he said, well, what do you mean? He goes, well, he was bragging about his math skills. And his quote was, and I've heard this from several people now, I once taught a kid with a lower IQ than so-and-so. So he announces this in a class full of 6th graders in a math class. I once taught a kid with a lower IQ than so-and-so. so-and-so has autism. What if that were Amos? This is Wilmington, yes. What if somebody said that about Amos? And then he went on and said, so-and-so got a 3 on their EOGs. And this student in the 6th grade said, hey, you shouldn't say that. Like, that's not nice. And the teacher, Mr. Stair, says, quote, do you want me to use you as an example? Maybe. So the student comes home and he tells his mom, or when she picks him up at school, about this. Because now you have to understand, people are at Coastal Prep because maybe public schools weren't a right fit, maybe private schools weren't a right fit. So this really felt like this is the place that's going to be our fit. And the thing is, it could be their fit, but not while they have that board and that head of school in place. I mean, it's like Bernie Madoff, if he's in charge, it's never going to work out well, right? Yeah, the teacher shouldn't be using that child as an example. It's also against FERPA, Family Right to Privacy Act. So this parent went to somebody at the front desk and said, you know, what's going on here? And this is a real interesting statement. They've said, we feel like this is our mission, and we know that this is a sign, this is evil, which I think is me writing these posts like I'm like a courier for the devil. This isn't about giving it up to God. This is about doing the right thing for children. And this mom said, you know, here I've been keeping my mouth shut because I just want everything to work out. And my own child is being an advocate? No, I have to speak up. If my own child can speak up, then I can speak up. So, let me look at my notes. I think Jamie Getz has gotten away with for a while. And I think the real truth is making $80,000 a year, not doing very much. Everybody on that board is getting something in some way from being on the board. And they're just trying to hang on to their jobs. Now, one of the wonderful things about charter schools is that if you want to leave and there are less than 65 students, in 30 days you're closed. So for those parents that are at Coastal Prep, I mean, I've seen them tonight on the Concerned Parents page. I mean, they're upset. It's okay to acknowledge you're upset. It doesn't mean you're a bad parent. You like the school. You want it to be good. And it could have been good. If all those great teachers and administrators weren't chased out, you would probably have a great school. But at some point, you got to say, Jamie Getz, you're not staying. With Jamie Getz, the reason they got rid of the head of school was because Jamie needed to get in. That was a plan from the get-go. That is a huge red flag. You don't fire someone that you bring from New Jersey just to put someone ill-equipped to be in charge. And yes, things are going poorly very quickly there. That's never been my goal. I would like to say that. It is a goal of mine. I don't think Jamie Getz should be there. And I think the great parents that were chased out, Jill, speaking of one, you're lost good families. You have families, 5 kids left today. I mean, I think if you want to save the school, then speak up. Be honest. Be truthful. Say, why is it like Lord of the Flies at recess? Why are children being allowed to bully other children? You know, help. Share the story and find out what's wrong. Go to the board. And I know a lot of families have gone to the board, but show up today. Yes, 5 left today. On Thursday night, there's a board meeting. Usually they get canceled. Show up and say, no, we're not going to allow this. We're not going to allow this. There is a master manipulator kind of creating these webs. So it becomes suddenly the blogger is evil, or these parents are crazy, or Tracy Bruce left because, she was bad acting. Like, no, these are all half-truths to spin. I mean, it's like being in an abusive relationship, I assume. I hadn't been in one, though this feels sort of like one. I mean, it makes people feel crazy. 5 students at Coastal Prep left today. I tell you what, if you get out of there, you would be smart. The other thing you'd be really smart is to write a letter and all sign your names and say, you know what? Our kids aren't coming back to school until Jamie and the board are out. Gaslighting. Yes, Mallory, my resident attorney. Gaslighting all day long. Our 19 staff members who left crazy and hundreds of parents. No. So that's the trouble. And then no, they're not. Look at the parents that are there. They are really nice parents. Look at the teachers that have stuck in. Amanda Shingleton said they're leaving tomorrow. Amanda, I don't blame you. I would really, really be concerned having her in charge. A parent said, well, it's just principal drama. Principal and drama are not two words that go together. That's why I'm not a principal. Principals should be like a rock. No drama. My principal, drama ain't even never touched her. Because you're a principal. You're an administrator. You're above that. You're here for children. And when your head of school starts saying to teachers, don't you tell those parents that I think, you think they need an IEP. You're not allowed to make a referral. When you want teachers to break the law, or if teachers want you to do a better job and you don't renew their contracts, you better watch out. Because then you end up with teachers that are sitting there thinking, we're just going down with the ship. All we wanted to do was teach. All we wanted to do was teach. And you have all these families that were counting on you to teach their kids, and you can't do it because you're chasing out good students. I would really, really encourage any parent at Coastal Prep to ask questions. Go in tomorrow, ask questions. Does the school have a playground yet? No. Oh, Donna said we can go to the board meeting Thursday. Ooh, Donna, I can't though. I have to talk in Chocowinity. Darn it. Well, we could. Yeah, they're paying $800,000 a year at a lease. I sure think they would have a playground. Ask questions about where the money goes. Where are the funds going that are being raised? Who's in charge of them? Don't pull a Urish thing like West Virginia. You better ask questions. You better ask questions. So I'm really proud of those students today. They started a petition to get rid of this teacher. They're just little kids, 6th graders. But their parents have a chance now to say, you know what? If our kids can do this, then maybe we can start a petition and say no more Jamie Getz, no more Chris Millis, no more whatever her name is, Angela Major. No. Indeed.com has 3 open faculty positions listed. That's helpful. Yeah. So again, you have this teacher, Mr. Stair, who says, I once taught a kid with a lower IQ than X. And X isn't in that class. He's in another school, another classroom. And then your students say, you can't say that. And he says, do you want me to use you as an example? I tell you what, I just, the same teacher would comment on the people that needed special help, referring to people that might have IEPs. Again, FERPA, Family Right to Privacy Act. You can't do things like that. It's not cute or funny. And the person I blame, again, is the head of school who hires these people. And you might say, well, who is she supposed to hire? All the teachers keep leaving. Well, why in the F are they leaving? Why have you lost 6 middle school teachers in the last 2 months? Why? Good question. I tell you what the common denominator is. You know, my mother, you'd come home and be like, so-and-so did this and they did this. And she'd be like, are you the common denominator? Jamie Getz and that board are the common denominator. All these parents are not crazy. They're not vindictive. They don't have a vendetta. They just know how terrible things are and want things better for other children. Instead of, lambasting parent advocates who no longer have their children there, you ought to say, thank you for caring. Thank you for caring. So now what you'll hear is, well, teachers leave, all the time. You don't lose that many teachers all the time. You don't. Music teachers don't leave. PE teachers don't leave. The head of curriculum leaves with no other job. When people like that are leaving, they're leaving because of something. What does the school cost per year? No, it's a charter school. It's free. Yeah, and now Chris Millis wants to open up a school in Pender County. And I tell you what, I've spoken to a lot of people at the Charter School Advisory Board, and I gave them an earful about Chris Millis today. And I would encourage you to call them up, Ashley, because if Chris Millis can't run this school, why the hell are we going to let him have another one? And now they want to buy a bunch of land across the street to build a high school? Are you kidding me? The only one thing I don't like about charter schools is it's basically like Joe Blow down the street can be like, I have this business idea and I'm going to start it. And the state says, you know what, we'll fund it for you. Even if you've never had any experience, we'll give you the money. That's what happens with charter schools. If I want to start a business and sell slushies, I can't get a loan as easily as Chris Millis can to build a high school. It's just true. So anyway, I would also encourage parents that have their children on the wait list there to really think about next year, because someone should be thinking, they really should be thinking about the other people that might be damaged in this situation. I mean, it's kind of like, thank goodness Amber Pack did something in West Virginia about Dodo Bird, Urish and Dowdy and Christina Lester. Because if she hadn't done anything, those teachers would still be teaching and abusing other kids. And as a parent, you have to say something. The Office of Charter School Boards, Ashley is a good person to talk to. She filed a grievance on Friday on behalf of the Office of Charter Schools and a teacher that left who said, I'm not allowed to do my job. So anyway, I would just really be careful. Be very careful. And the other problem is when you start complaining at this school, you get pushback. You get bizarre emails regarding dress code. Even though the head of school's child wears Adidas pants, your khakis are a little bit too pink today. No, you're in trouble. I mean, it makes people start thinking that they're crazy. I would just say that. It really does. So when you push back, you're going to get pushed back. But you know what? If there are a bunch of you, what are they going to do to you? Nothing. They're not going to do anything. Ellen said, they come after you if you speak up. Well, you know what? If enough of you speak up, there's too many of you to come after. Too many. Too many. So stand strong with the voice. It's just really important. Really important. And when a board is so concerned with buying land and building schools and what are they going to do next, instead of trying to keep teachers and get their head of school under control, what is their real motive? Why do they want to build another school? Are they making money? Something's happening. Something's happening. And I guarantee you one of those board members is going to try to lead that school in Pender County. You watch. We're not going to let them build that school. Somebody is making money on this deal. You always follow the money. So that's all I got, people. Please don't paint charter schools. No, I'm not painting all charter schools with the same brush. I'm talking about this charter school. And this charter school could be good if you didn't have a crooked board and a crooked head of school. It's just like having, the Chipotle with salmonella. Doesn't mean they all got it. Anyway. No. This charter school could be successful if they had a group that wanted it to be successful. Why don't they want it to be successful? I don't know. Wilmington, is sort of fancy. Fancier than where I am. I think somehow Jamie Getz has got something on them of why she gets to stay. I can't figure out why they won't get rid of her. It doesn't make any sense. Because a board with people that had brains would be like, absolutely not. We're going to not have her. I mean, instead you have like past teachers going to the board and saying like, y'all are crazy. I didn't know I was going to work in a mental hospital. And then they're like, goodbye. They don't want to hear it. Nobody wants to hear it. No matter what you say or complain about, nobody wants to hear it. Oh, a child brought a knife to school in January? Were they punished? Nope. Just go home for the rest of the day. See you tomorrow. Why is Chris Millis so tied in? I don't know. I do not know. Anyway, I hope y'all will think, and if you're a Coastal Prep parent, this is a good chance for you to speak up and share your voice and know why you picked the charter school to begin with. And it was not, you were duped. I mean, you were duped. They hung, a qualified head of school and fired her on day 3. Why did they fire her? There were some rumors going around that she was using heroin, which we know is a total lie. They fired her because that was the plan all along. So Jamie Getz could be in charge. Jamie Getz wants to make $80,000. Jamie Getz is a counselor. She's selling essential oils. How else is she going to make $80,000? So pay attention. Pay attention. You want Coastal Prep to do well? Stop defending Coastal Prep and start asking questions. Start asking questions. And if somebody tells you, we feel like it's our mission to go against this evil time, you tell them, that debutante ain't evil. She's just a child advocate. And ever since I saw that video of that Miss Edens just torturing a child with autism, videoing her as she was crying for her to stop, I knew that was bad. And you know why I knew it was bad? Because when Jamie Getz saw that video, she didn't care. She likes Miss Edens. So you have an administrator with no background in education, no knowledge of anything regarding to IEPs, budgeting, finance. She's in charge of a school. Is it any shock it doesn't do well? Shit. This is why you need a good board. But they're all handpicked by Getz. Anyway, good luck. I can't wait to hear about tomorrow. I'm going to go make people go to bed and try not to be hungry since I'm on this diet. And if you want to be a supporter, because you just really can't get enough of me, join up. I'll put the link on. Yeah, parents made sure their kid didn't get Edens again. Don't let Edens keep teaching. My gosh. Carry on, people. Lean and green. I'm now feeling thin and mean.